Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some music entertainment news. Of course, over the weekend, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony was streamed live on Disney Plus, to my disappointment, because I let my Disney Plus run out, and I have HBO, and they've done it every year on HBO, and all of a sudden now it's on Disney Plus. And I don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame belongs on Disney Plus, being a bunch of hippie drug addicts who sleep around. That shouldn't be on Disney Plus.
Pluses?
No. No, the rock and roll people that are in there.
Oh.
Come on, man. Put it back on HBO. What's the problem?
The Hooboo.
I was very upset.
You sound like Andy Rooney
I
of
know.
60 Minutes fame.
You know what's
Disney
wrong?
owns a lot of stuff.
Hold on, do the Andy Rooney. That's really funny.
It's so funny that Case is 25 years old and asked me to do impersonations of people that are like 400 years old.
I asked you to do Carson, and I asked you to do Andy Rooney.
You know what's wrong with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's on Disney Plus. Those hippies out there. Okay.
I didn't know you had that in you. That's really funny.
I'll work on it for you to make it. I'll hone it. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, of course, with Ozzy Osbourne, a big deal going in, and same with Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, A Tribe Called Quest, Foreigner, the Dave Matthews Band, Cher.
Love Cher.
Kenzie should have got up there and sang for Cher.
Oh, I could have done it. Back, turn back time.
Oh, my God. It's like I'm there.
I know. You're welcome. That was an audio clip.
Mary J. Blige also got into some funny moments, first off, to get into it. And Ozzy is not in great health, but he was sitting there in a throne, and they kind of all played for him. So you had Maynard James Keenan of Tool singing, who even told everybody, you should have chose someone with a higher register because I can't sing this song. It's too high. Crazy Train.
Okay.
But they had Wolfgang Van Halen on guitar and Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers playing Crazy Train. It sounded like this.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Weird to hear in the lower singing register.
It is weird.
I know that things are going wrong for me.
It's good.
You gotta listen to my word. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Bring that guitar up.
Let's not get in a fight over guitar sounds
Listen how
again.
low it is
James
in the
Addiction
mix.
over here.
Oh, come on. That was weak. That's why it's on Disney Plus. They don't want guitars either.
That's enough.
They don't want loud guitars.
HBO loves guitars.
You know, I talked about it last year. I'm always going to say it. It bothers me that they do a bunch of people. It should be one.
Now, you said
You
that
made
about
it.
you said that about the Bulls Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And you also said
This
it about
is just stupid. It's like, here's the next 400 inductees. It's like, well, that's just, it should be one a year. Imagine how big of a deal it would be if it was one a year. It would be a huge deal.
Here's my counter to that. What if it was just Kool and the Gang this year? Would that be awesome?
Celebrate good times. Come on.
You've got to have something for everybody a little bit more than that. I mean,
Well, in fairness, if it was only one a year, I don't think Kool and Gang would be up.
that's true.
It would be, there's a big list.
Yeah,
If
it would
there's
be
one-
Buddy Holly this year.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people.
Who would be going at a snail's pace.
Or,
Yeah.
here's my other thing. Okay? If you're going to do all these people, and there's usually a couple different genres, which I'm fine with, it should just be called the Music Hall of Fame, and then there's somebody from every single genre each year.
They're already doing that anyway.
I know, but it's not really. Do you know what I'm saying?
because Cher is in there. Is that no one thinks rock and roll when you think Cher or
I
Mary
think
J.
she's
Blige?
pretty badass.
I'm not saying-
I think Cher's more rock and rollish, I would say, than Mary J. Blige, because Mary J. Blige is hardcore R&B.
Yeah.
Right?
And I have no, listen, if you're going to do that, that's fine, but it's not, Iron Maiden's not in yet, okay? They should be in there.
So I'm saying
I'm
it
that
should-
guy now who's going to argue at the bar
Well,
and
because-
get in that argument.
Now it should be, listen, you do Music Hall of Fame, and then it's one from each genre. I think that, let's control it. I think it's a mess. I don't like it. The inductees are all over the place.
I think they like it that it's a mess because then we talk about it. You know what I mean? If it was all very easy and clean, then it wouldn't get talked about enough. People like to argue over who gets in and who doesn't. There were some funny things that happened, though, with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Like Foreigner got in, who's written so many damn hits, but no one in the band currently touring is an original member. Mick Jones is the guitar player, but he's got Parkinson's disease, so he doesn't play every show.
Aww.
I know, it's very sad. And so then they got in an argument. They sent them the schedule, they said, of the event, like on Friday. It's Saturday, the show was. They didn't tell them
They
like.
invited him on Friday? This is what I need.
No, they were invited, but they
Oh.
told him like, hey, you got to get here at 7, whatever time for the dinner or whatever like that. And some of the guys in the band were like, this is unacceptable to us, so we're not showing up. So half the band, most of it didn't show up to get inducted because the schedule wasn't good.
Well, that's cold as ice, huh?
Oh. I just think it's hilarious that they couldn't tell him a couple days earlier, hey, make sure you're here. The buffet is at 7.
They should have called and said, I want to know what time it is.
you
And I
work- can you-
want you to tell me.
Can you work another one in?
Let's see. They were waiting for the girl to call. Tell them when to come.
If you work another one in, I might give you $5.
Oh my God.
We'll even give you a second. I didn't know I was doing a show with a Foreigner super fan.
Well, they have so many damn hits, and I mean, literally, like the fabric of your youth is all in the Foreigner hits,
Not my youth.
not yours. You don't know any of those songs she was singing?
No, I don't listen to Foreigner.
You don't have
Feels
to.
like the first call I've gotten about this event.
You're so proud of yourself.
I can do more, but I just need to. It would be great if I had another story involving them. It's a lot about one phone call.
If you can get one more in before the legal ID.
They needed a jukebox hero because no one showed up.
Oh, boy, I shouldn't have went for one more. Oh,
It's a
boy.
hard thing to do.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we're only about a week and a half away from the Q101 Halloween pop-up with American authors. That'll be at the Cubby Bear next Thursday, October 31st. 21 and over show. And make sure you go to Q101.com to get your first free ticket to get to the event. Guaranteed entry passes at Q101.com, sponsored by our great friends Cubby Bear and Wintrust Community Bank. So it's a free event. Obviously, it's a pop-up, but it helps to have a ticket. So get your ticket and a chance for guaranteed entry because these things do tend to fill up really fast.
Well, especially because, it's Halloween. A lot of people have like group costumes and stuff. Really sucks if you're the only Teletubby that gets in because the rest of your friends didn't download that ticket. It just doesn't have the same impact,
One Teletubby.
When you're Ghostbuster and somebody else is Slimer, but just the Buster shows up.
Very good point.
It sucks.
I mean,
you know?
$300 for first place, $200 for second, and $100 for third in the costume contest. American authors performing live as them.
Woo!
And
As them.
As them. And then they come out as the Killers, and they do Hot Fuss in its entirety, and they'll also be dressed as Halloween serial killers.
Very fun.
Now, Case knows who they all are because he's seen most of the Halloween serial killers.
You're welcome. Prepared you for the pop-up.
Wow, thank you, Kenzie.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I would have been lost without it.
Yeah.
You now know who Freddy Krueger is. You know who Jason is. You still don't know who Michael Myers is.
On your way. On Halloween, you'll know. So you'll be fine.
Okay, well, then good. It's like a study guide before the test.
Exactly. You'll be up to date.
Case is watching Halloween movies every Friday for the first time ever and reviewing them. And
He also knows who Jigsaw is.
he knows
so
who
if he sees somebody on a little tricycle, he's up to date with what's happening.
rolling up to the stage.
Yes.
And who would people dress as if they were going to dress from The Shining? Because it's hard to dress as writer's block.
But you dress as Johnny and you bring the axe. You have the jacket and you limp.
No, I don't think Cubby Bear Security is going to let me bring an axe into the Cubby Bear.
Oh, it should be foam.
Yeah.
You could bring a foam axe.
I don't know. Those things can still hurt
That's right.
if you swing them hard enough.
God willing.
I was Lizzie Borden and I brought an axe to a Wrigleyville bar.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden?
The girl who killed her parents with an axe.
In real life?
Lizzie Borden
It's
took an
based on a-
axe,
yeah.
give her parents 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 40 what? You don't know that?
No.
Lizzie Borden, she killed her parents. So what I did is I did like a schoolgirl outfit with a bunch of blood and like a Lizzie Borden name tag and an axe and pigtails.
It's Kenzie's idol, you know. I know, Lizzie Borden.
You know Lizzie Borden? You can stay at her house. She killed her parents.
Some people like Nelson Mandela. Kenzie's more of a Lizzie Borden type girl.
Halloween. Sorry, I wasn't Nelson Mandela. I mean, I don't value him.
You can go as,
Heaven.
remember, Nelson Mandela's never been, that costume has never showed up at a Q101 Halloween pop-up.
No, you could do that this year.
You could do that and win $300, possibly. And, of course, American authors. So go to Q101.com right now to get your free first-come, first-served ticket and a chance for guaranteed entry passes. Get it because they will go fast.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. All right, let's get to your takeaways here. Lauren's coming in. So takeaways from today's show, 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Paul in Burbank checked in his takeaway, which is more factual than it is funny, which is that we launched God Bless the Gravy today.
That's right. And we appreciate people that have already got it off to a pretty good start here. We've got, 2,400 meals raised. And if you don't know what it is, God Bless the Gravy, it's our food drive every year with the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Go to Q101.com, Q101's Facebook page. You can text just gravy if you want to 312-591-8300, and the link comes back to you. If everybody listening just puts in $5 or $10, we will get to our goal of 30,000 meals pretty quick. Now, if you can do 100, 500, $1,000, hey, more power to you.
I'll tell you what, if you want to help people, this is a great way. Also, if you don't like listening to radio while we're trying to help people, the more you donate, the sooner we'll stop talking about it.
True.
So if you're like, I don't want to hear it,
Listen.
you just donate all the meals. Thank you. High five. Teamwork.
The one charity where all the money goes to really help people, probably your neighbors, because it's not just Chicago. It goes to all the areas you can hear us in. That's what the food bank benefits. So please donate, please. Kenzie, what do you got for a takeaway?
Takeaway, Anthony said Brian has a fat ass alert on his phone from BOGO Pizza from 7-Eleven.
Put it in your phone right now. October 30th and 31st. 7-Eleven, I discovered last night while going to get some milk at 9:30 that they have a BOGO
Very
deal
odd.
on pizza for those 2 days.
I would love if so many people show up that you don't get the pizza because you told everyone about it. Like they run out.
You just want to watch the world burn, don't
I
you?
do. I think
It's
it'd be
terrible.
hilarious.
Terrible. Finally, a takeaway from 219. Q101 True Hard Facts. Your car is always better if you have a chicken tender in it. And there you go. We're working on getting the alderman from the 47th Ward on to talk about why a Raising Cane's can't go in at Belmont and Western. That could happen tomorrow. We'll stay on that. Case, what else on the show, on the podcast?
Well, that Raising Cane's discussion led to one of the great arguments in show history, so if you missed that, go and check that out. Also, once again, we have an update on the Chicago Sports Network. No, you cannot watch Bulls and Blackhawks games, but yes, they are blaming you for that issue. And also, today's fact that makes your brain go boom. I don't think you will ever experience the airport the same way again once you hear that fact. So that and more on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today.
You miss a moment, miss a lot. It's all there for you at Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and the Q101 app, newly redesigned, makes it very slick and easy to go to the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.